In this video, I'm going to be showing you the materials and step-by-step way for you to begin block printing using eraser stamps. First, I'm going to be showing you all the materials I use, which you can buy off Amazon or at your local Michaels or Hobby Lobby. The erasers that I love to use are these Pentel erasers that really just make carving a lot easier than the pink traditional ones that you see. You can buy these also at Target or Walmart. Next, for a carver, I use this speedball carver, which I got from Michaels, and you can also order that off of Amazon too. There is a link in the description of this video that is connected to my Amazon storefront, which you can buy all of this stuff off of. And I like this carver because it comes with different attachments, and this is the smallest attachment that it has, and you just screw it on and off. This carver also comes with additional attachments, which you can keep on the inside of the handle. It comes with a medium and a large size attachment, which you can see the medium right here because I already had the large attached to the other carver that I have on hand with me, which I found at a yard sale. Don't knock the yard sales, guys. You will find some awesome art supplies. This is my all-time favorite ink that I use. Stays on, and I got this one at Hobby Lobby, but sometimes they're out of stock, so you might have to get it off of Amazon. It is an ink pad, so it will dry out over time, but that's okay because you can order a little ink bottle off of Amazon as well to refill the ink pad. This is the roller that I use to put the ink on the block stamps. I know that you can also purchase this in a kit with the carver. I use two types of papers in my whole stamp making process. The first is tracing paper, which it feels like parchment paper, and you can buy this at Hobby Lobby, Michaels, or Amazon. And then for the printing paper, I use this printmaking paper because it is a nice thick quality and it just makes your stamps come out better. I've used other papers before and I just don't like it as much as this printing paper. Right, now onto my stamp making process. To begin, I sketch out my design onto my tracing paper, and you can see here I had a bigger binky design that I used, and then I drew a smaller one for my eraser. Tracing paper will save you a lot of time in the long run because I used to draw my sketches onto my eraser or my block, and whenever I would go to stamp it, it would be in reverse. So with tracing paper, you can draw your design how you want it to be when you stamp it, and then flip it over onto your eraser or block, and you just take a pencil and you sketch over it, and it transfers it beautifully. Sometimes you do have to go over the lines just so that you can see them a little bit better. I highly recommend using tracing paper starting out. Another tip I have is when you use erasers and you're not using the whole eraser, cut it in half and save the other half for another design. When I begin the carving process, I make sure I carve on the outside of my design, not on the actual lines. You want to carve on the outside of those lines. I used to carve on the lines and it would make my design smaller, and that's not what you want. Make sure you're carving around your design to begin with. Next, I like to go around my design and go ahead and carve out the extra eraser. It really depends on the design, though. Sometimes I like to carve from the inside out, but on this one I wanted to go from the outside in. This can get a little bit tedious, but just keep carving around your design until all the excess eraser is gone. Next, I'm starting on the inside of my design and I'm carving out everything that I want to be white. So here I'm using a different carver that is not Speedball brand. It's a Swiss made carver. This is what the Swift carver looks like. It has a wooden handle that fits perfectly into your palm and a longer metal piece that helps you kind of have more control over your carver when you're carving out smaller pieces. Now for my favorite part, which is inking your stamp and testing it out to see if it is the design that you want it to be. So I will say that I was rushing this stamp a little bit and it's not my best work, but there were some pieces that I wanted to try to trim up to make the stamp look a little nicer, which is really nice about stamping it too, because you can actually see your design on the actual stamp. But here's the final product, and I really hope that this video helped you in some type of way. Please like and subscribe and comment what stamp I should do next.